Hey everybody, and welcome to another video. My name is Abbie and this is Spend More Time in the Wild. Now, you've probably seen the title of this video, Highlights Reel 2021, and I'm wondering, why is this only just been uploaded in the middle of 2022? Well, let's just be honest about the situation. I am so behind on my editing schedule. I have finally, a couple of weeks ago, caught up with 2020 and let's just say I'm in a time of transition, a big time of change, and I'm really excited. On my birthday this year in June 2022, I hit 50,000 subscribers. And for me, it's just signaled a time to revamp and revitalize and also catch up on old videos. That's why we're here today talking about 2021. So I'm gonna jump in and have a quick discussion about some of the things that went on last year, and then we're going to finish with the classic 2-3 minute highlights reel that I always attach to the reflections of each year, and I really hope you're gonna enjoy watching this video. Now, as you're listening, if you enjoy this video, please do click like. If you don't enjoy this video, but you do think Bobby's cute, please click like. And don't forget to join our community by hitting subscribe as well to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Click that bell next to the subscribe button and you'll know when I'm going live. And of course, follow on socials for behind the scenes updates and even more. Right, should we talk about 2021? I think you just want a cookie. If you like pina colada. All right, so 2021. Some of this is going to be new because I've actually managed to upload films. Some of this, no, that doesn't make sense. Some of this is going to be new because I haven't managed to upload films. And some of this is going to be not new because I have. Oh God, this is terrible. Basically, 2021 started with kind of like 2020, COVID on the scene, and just the turbulence and uncertainty looking forward into the year. And I have to be honest, for me, it felt like a bit of a scrambled together pile of adventures. There was so much within the year that didn't go to plan, and so much that's just phenomenally changed my life. So it really felt like a story of two halves, but the halves were all blended in. So they kind of weren't halves, more like chapters, but then I don't have the concentration to write a book. Whatever, 2021. So the year started with COVID on the scene, and then basically Anna and I decided we just needed to get out of the house for a little bit. We went and stayed in a friend's Shepard Hut here on the edge of Exmoor, and it was a beautiful experience. I think it was a night there, just one night in the hills, surrounded by sheep, which happened to be Herdwick sheep, which belong in the Lake District. So it felt like we were in the Lake District, even though we were in Exmoor. It was awesome, quite frankly. Then following that, it was time to get into the hiking season, which for me usually starts in March, April time. Generally, as the clocks are changing and the evenings get lighter, I tend to perk up in my sense of enthusiasm to go spend nights outside under the stars. Now, I know winter is a beautiful time to get out, but maybe I'm just lazy, I don't know. That's just me. So come April, right at the beginning of April, I headed out to walk quite a local trail to me actually here in the southwest of the UK, and that was the Dartmoor Way. Now, this route can be walked and cycled, but the walking route is 108 miles, and essentially it goes around the perimeter of the national park. And for me, I decided to step foot onto this trail as an opportunity to face some of my fears. Many of you guys may have seen some of my wild camping videos and have learned that I struggle with different situations, shall we say, which are very much twisted in my mind, that can come up if I find myself feeling fearful whilst I'm camping or wild camping. And so essentially, since actually the beginning of 2020, I've been working on facing my fears of wild camping and building a much more harmonious process of trusting myself and being able to talk myself through challenging situations. And so on the Dartmoor Way, I had 5 nights of wild camping. It was absolutely splendifulous. I really enjoyed it. And it was a fantastic new way to see Dartmoor as a national park. I'd highly recommend if you're looking for a long distance walk, but Dartmoor Way, April 2021. Now, my life is generally, particularly within the hiking window, a go away, come home, go away, come home. It's very intense, or it can be very intense. 2021 was sort of the easing into that and sort of, again, learning to trust that the world is accessible again. But anyway, coming back from the Dartmoor Way, my partner and I, Anna, decided that we needed some time together. So we went down to Cornwall and had a wee little trip there, which was super nice, super windy. I haven't actually edited those films because it was just so windy, and I haven't decided if I'm going to make a film out of those yet. But regardless, Cornwall's nice, highly recommend it. Yeah, good place. So after Cornwall, it was really time to hit the trail. Spring had sprung and it was time to tick off some of the trails. Now every year I have essentially a plan for what I'm looking at achieving and doing and documenting, because that's what I'm doing here through Wild, is inspiring and empowering people to get outside for the benefit of mental and physical health. And a big part of that, alongside the speaking, the community, the walks that I run, the other things, the store and whatever, is shooting films. So I go out and I document different trails to create a resource and a story that empowers people, whatever situation they're in, to get outside and know that nature is accessible for all. Full stop. Mic drop. Don't have a mic. It's actually in here. I'm not going to drop that because that will be weird. It's like something falling out of my pants. No one wants to see that. So, went up to Scotland. I'm not going to share which trail I was due to hike because I didn't end up hiking it, and so it's still on the list and that's exclusive. But basically what I found, I'm somebody who struggles with chronic pain, and the car journey up really triggered my back injury and issue. And I got to Scotland and I ended up having to book emergency accommodation because my back essentially gave out and I couldn't put any weight on my body, full stop. I had to just be horizontal, and even that was excruciatingly painful. I was really lucky that the B&B I managed to book, the host was actually like a massage therapist person, and she did some poking and prodding and a bit of that, you know, kneading. Need the bread, put it in the oven to rise. So that was good, that helped. And an old friend came across and sort of just supported me a little bit emotionally on the day after. But essentially my trail plan flunked, and I ended up spending a week in Scotland just building up my strength again because the car journey home was too much. So that's where I got the beautiful experience of being able to hike simple trails like Ben Ann, Ben Donich, Stop Bienen, probably said that wrong, and a few other really nice things. Walks around Loch Acre in the pouring rain, it was beautiful. And just, there's always two sides to every situation. When you have hit the wall, quite literally, or the floor actually, quite literally, there's always another side, and sometimes you just have to be patient and gracious with your mental or physical health or well-being or whatever situation it is, even if it's environmental and circumstantial, and know that we have a choice in how we react. And I was really crushed. You know, it's really demoralizing to find yourself time after time after time after time, day after day after day after day, in pain. But my motto, which I'm probably going to say in every reflective video from here forth for the rest of my life, is I'd rather be in pain doing something than in pain doing nothing, because I'm in pain all the freaking time. So hiking on these beautiful little trails was a real privilege. I got to meet some fantastic people and experience definitely some of the best views that part of Scotland had to offer. Those who say they can and those who say they can't are both usually right. Today, I say I can. So, I can, and I will be right. Camera. Stick. Let's go. After that, it was time to fulfill one of my traditions, and that was to go up to the Lake District. And I always spend some time there in May, June, sort of bubble existence, timeness chapter. Oh, we're back to the chapters. Maybe I am writing a story. And my goal, whilst I was in the Lake District, was to do walking, because that's what I do. Although not the second half of 2021, I'll have you know. Yeah, I did some walking, shot some nice films, went and ticked off some old routes that were filmed with my old camera, so not as good quality as what I'm producing anymore, or these days. Oh gosh, my English is not connecting. Have a German girlfriend, they said. It'll help your language skills, they said. All it's doing is de-proving, see what I mean? My English is not, it's not... This is unproductive. Basically, I wanted to reshoot in order to improve the quality because they were shot on old camera quality stuff. Camera equipment has improved and I've been able to access more equipment, and so I can go and reshoot it and tell the story in a different way. I'm never one to take down old videos, but it was really nice to go and re-walk some routes I was quite familiar with. And in addition to that, I went and walked some fresh routes, some new routes like the Fairfield Horseshoe, the entire Coniston Horseshoe, Anyway, the Lake Districts, beautiful, beautiful experience. And then I went back out for my birthday, my 25th birthday, and I wild camped at Angle Tarn, which was, again, a very humbling, grounding experience to just spend that night under the stars, immersed in nature from sun up to sundown. And I loved it. It was great. And completed a horseshoe over High Street and around. And then I had a big old bowl of chips at the bottom in Patterdale. Thumbs up if you like chips. I like chips and sweet potato chips. Sweet potato chips. Now, essentially, it was June that I sort of ended my hiking season because of the next project, which I'm going to come to. But on my way down from the Lake District, I actually went down and then left or right, depending on which way you're looking at it, to Wales. And I went to Snowdonia and I just spent a couple of days there. One day I met up with the legend that is Sarah William, who hosts the Tough Girl podcast. If you don't listen to that, start now, full stop. And we climbed Snowdon via the Pig and Miners track, which was great because I was about this tall. I don't even fit on the screen when I last did that. And then the next day I went up via Crib Gogh, which was a challenging experience, actually. I was very mentally fragile at that particular point in life. But, you know, I can trust myself. I do trust myself. And it wasn't stupid to put myself in a situation that I put myself in, climbing Crib Gogh, a deeply exposed route in the cloud. But no, for me, I'm just somebody who has to do the hard things. I'm a very intuitive, heart-led person, and I wholeheartedly trust myself to know what's right. I'm not necessarily good at tuning into the finer, intricate details of my body, but I know when it's reacting to an environmental thing, like go do this, don't do that, that is 100% reliable. So I was called, if that's what I'm going to call it, to do Crib Gogh, and it was an amazing experience. I went through this transformational walk through the emotional cycles that I was in, choosing life over and over again. And then back on the way down, I didn't even go to the summit. I didn't even feel it was necessary. I'd done it the day before. Crib Gogh was my goal, and I ticked it off. Solo walking, cameras in hand, and then coming back down was a big smile slapped on my face. So highly recommend that route. But definitely, you know, if you're unsure about it, hire a mountain guide because they'll support you all the way. So chapter 2, or 5, or whatever chapter we're on, maybe I'm coming back to not being very good at writing a book, was the second half of 2021. Now, this is where it got interesting. So like many people, during COVID, I had found myself stretching my thinking and stretching the locations in which I was traveling and how I was traveling. Basically, I had turned to cycling. Now, we had moved out here to Exmoor a year ago. In 2021, it's 2 years now. Numbers are not my strong point. And essentially the bike had become a fantastic mode of exploration for me. Generally speaking, these days when it comes to walking, I sort of walk locally, but I turn to my bike on a day-to-day basis for fitness training, mental health processing, yada, yada, yada. It's the thing, man, the shebang, pow, 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 you know what I'm saying? I'd got into cycling, and on one of these cycles, I'd had this phenomenally fantastic idea to cycle /stupid idea, to cycle from John O'Groats to Land's End, so that's joggle, via every national park in the UK. And not only that, but I would hike to the highest point of each national park. Now that's 15 national parks, and the route amassed to 2,000 miles. Anna and I, my partner, we ended up traveling the entire journey. We started at the end of August, actually, 2021, and it was a 2-month journey. It was 55 days of cycling and hiking. The process building up to that, we literally had just a few months really between idea and actually actioning the idea. It was so intense, hardly anything really happened in July and the beginning of August because it was just laptop, chase sponsorship, builds plans, find a route, get fit, train, hire a van, yada, 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 find some filmmakers. And it was, oh, geez, lesson learned. That's all I'll say. But Anna stood by my side. We really debated pushing it back, but we just felt now was the time to step into this project. Yes, it could be stupid. Yes, there could be more planning. Yes, there are many risks, but people need people right now. We need the planet and the planet needs us. There is no better time to be having these difficult conversations about environmental stewardship, so giving back to nature, about connecting with others and building community because that saves lives, and about getting out in nature for mental and physical well-being. And those were really the main missions that we were focusing on during this trip. So we shot a 3-part film series called Abbie Bikes Britain, which are available on the channel for free to watch. They're an hour long each, and it has completely changed me. I'm a completely different person off the back of this trip, namely because of all of the unforeseen challenges that came up during, well, before, during, and after. I had to really dig in deep to a new layer of myself that I've never really stepped into before. And actually, this was a complete fulfilling of a dream, because for me, I've always fantasized about tackling a big expedition, of being an adventurer and an explorer and an athlete. And I've never really put myself in that bracket, or shyly I've put myself in that bracket, but not confidently. And I really felt like I hit the mark with this, like I crossed my invisible qualifying line that clearly existed, that I wasn't very in control of. And dealing with all the emotional problems that we had and circumstantial issues that came up, which you can find out a little bit more about in the episodes if you choose to watch them. But it was freaking tough. It was so hard. It nearly broke us, but we made it through, as you see in the films. It's not a spoiler alert because we're still here. And it was just the most beautiful, humbling experience. And the healing has happened even now. Even now, the healing from what we faced on that trip is still ongoing, but it's at a very deep and visceral level. And it's opened my eyes to want to find, my eyes and my heart to want to find new ways to give back and really leave a legacy. And that's kind of where I was at the end of 2021. I was exhausted. We were really stressed about getting these films edited because of a lot of different pressures, the Abbie Bikes Britain films. And basically I went down to Italy to join her there. Anna and I went down and we spent Christmas in the south of Italy, enjoying the sunshine. It was a calming and beautiful experience, although quite tense, purely because I was freaking freezing. Turns out, south of Italy, it's not as, well, it's sunny, but it's really cold. And I just had my little Patagonia jacket, and I was like, oh. That's for somebody who didn't used to get cold. That's one of the fundamental biological changes I have experienced off the back of Abbie Bikes Britain, is I feel the cold now, people. I didn't used to. I used to just always be like, take it all off. But yeah, I really feel the cold now. But coming back to this sort of summary and reflection of 2021, it's been kind of bizarre for being forced to look back at the year that's passed when I'm halfway through another year. But it's actually been a really nice experience going back through the emotional journeys that I went on, seeing the maturity that I've gained, seeing how much pain I've been in, and yet in that pain I've decided to continue to give. Like, it's been a bit of a slap on the back, well done mate situation, you know. And that's really what I want to continue doing. You know, I'm here as the founder and director of Spend More Time in the Wild, and it can go wherever I want to steer it. But the goal is to leave a legacy. The goal is to give back. The goal is to make a difference. The goal is positive change, and the goal is to get people outside and connected with nature, because that is really what saves lives. We are a part of nature. We are not separate. And just like we are a part of nature and we're not separate, I'm a part of Wild, we're not separate. So Wild is forever going to be a space where I can share my personal journey and grow alongside it and offer a hand, and you guys can take that hand. Join me as we explore the world, as we hike these trails, as we push ourselves to mental and physical limits and into that stretch zone of personal growth and personal discovery, because we are not meant to be static. We're not meant to stay still. We are meant to rest. We are meant to regroup, but we are meant to get out there, explore and give back, because we're part of a system. And that's really what I'm trying to do here with Wild. So I'm going to finish this rambly, crazy video with the classic highlights reel, a collection of some of the best shots from 2021. As I said at the beginning, if you've enjoyed this video and anything else that I'm creating through Wild for free for you guys to watch, then please just hit subscribe. It would mean the world for me, and share this video, whether it's via screenshot on Instagram stories or a link on Facebook, to get other people outside. We are a community. We are one because we are one people, no matter where we live, who we are, or anything. It's undiscussable, indiscussable English. Doesn't matter. We're part of nature. Nature's part of us. Thank you for watching, guys. And from me and Bobby, we'll see you soon. Stay wild. Bye. Say bye. 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 I never know how deep his voice is. Bye, everybody. Stay wild.